Hello guys, welcome back to Comic Book Cafe once again. This time we're reviewing Action Comics Volume 2, Issue 43, continuing basically the true storyline. So, again, this is a world where everybody knows that Superman is Clark Kent. In this storyline in this world, this is a place where Superman has lost his uh, laser beam eyes, he's lost his ability to fly, he's stronger than a human, but doesn't heal like he used to, things don't bounce off him anymore. He's more vulnerable than he ever has been. Anyway, so Metropolis has had an issue. Since Superman is now more human, obviously a lot of people are coming out of the woodwork to try to get him. And the people he knows in Metropolis are kind of paying the price because the cops are trying to basically, deal with him. And a big thing comes out in the last issue. Anyway, fight breaks out. So here we go. Start off this issue where... Sergeant Brington, really wants Superman to hit him, and eventually goes to Superman, hits him, and he flies. In this issue, in the beginning, he looks like he flies farther than he's supposed to. Everybody kind of cringes, like, oh, my gosh. And then as he looks at you, find out he's a shadow monster. These things are clearly after Superman. And so, everybody obviously reacts, badly to it, Superman, and then Superman's friends try to protect him, but they kind of get hurt. And Superman's trying not to lose it, but he starts losing it against this creature. And eventually the police tell him, back away, Superman, back away. And you think, oh, they're going to, let him go. But instead they start shooting at him. And then Shadow Monster guy disappears. That's what happens with that. Real quick at the beginning. Kind of quick way to wrap up the whole riot thing that was going to happen. Anyway. So we next see the mayor... her advisor showing her, these are some of the pictures that Jimmy Olsen takes. She goes, oh, how have people seen this? He goes, the 23 million people logged on to the Day of the Planet website because he's taking the pictures on real time. And so as Jimmy takes the pictures, they're going online of all the events and everything that happened. You see a bunch of pictures of what happened. Anyway, so, Superman talks to, I guess, the guy in the scene. I want to talk to the mayor, and he goes, well, the mayor wants to talk to you too. So he talks to the mayor, and she advised him to leave the city due to the fact that, he's a big target, and people could get hurt. And she says, my job is to protect the city. And Superman goes, that's funny, that's my job too. So you're thinking, okay, they're both trying to do the same thing, but clearly Superman's now a target, right? Everybody's going after him because they know he's weak. Weaker than he's ever been. Anyway, we see Superman has some interactions with people on the ground, and the girl Lee who kind of got hurt trying to protect him. He wrapped his cape around her, clipping her cape around her, and she's like, well, that's part of your cape. He doesn't need it anymore. He can't fly right now anyway. He says it's all right, it's clean, and Jimmy takes a picture, of course, and so they go, Jimmy and Lee and him all go to Superman's place because he's got to get some things, and he's got to think. He's just got to think and get away from everything right now. He's still trying to wrap his head about everything going around, right? Because everybody knows who he is, and there's attacks on him and people he knows, and he's just trying to wrap his head around everything right now, right? Anyway, show up at his apartment to see it's been broken into. Superman kind of says it must be the police, and Jimmy's like, no, this seems to be after the police. And you go in there, and basically you see painted "Go Home Alien" and scum on boxes and stuff like that. Obviously, people don't want him to be around. That's quite obvious. This is our Earth kind of thing. And next we see an officer who knew Sergeant Bringington. Probably saying his name slightly wrong. I think it's a little longer than that. Anyway. And she's bad about Superman. How do we know about him and his laser eyesight and all this other stuff? Sergeant was a good man. She's going to how a good man he was. And anyway, so the mayor goes in to see her, and she's like, I heard you had some, you're going to have some issues. She goes, what do you mean? You were clearly trained by him. You knew him. She goes, yeah. And, she starts kind of going back into routine again. And the mayor goes, I think we'll get along just fine. And then as you see that, you see her two people next to her turning all black and stuff like they're shadowy monsters. And then next thing you see outside door, that you hear the gunshots, and then you see her bust out there, the monsters are here. So clearly the mayor is part of the shadow monsters, right? And these two other people who work for her. and just as you think they're going to get her, all of a sudden Superman and other people show up and said, "Don't worry, you're not the, we're all in this fight together," and that's how it ends. And of course, the title next one is "You Can't Fight City Hall" is the title of the next issue. But again, this is a case where also I forgot to mention that in between the part from his apartment to the City Hall incident with the officer at the very end of the book, when Superman goes to his apartment, he rips out a picture that was for broken frame, and he tells people, "We're all in this. We're in this together. You all have to be Superman. I can't protect you anymore. I don't know how long I can do what I do. We're gonna have to stay together and fight if we're gonna survive." And everybody's like, all up for it. The group that he knows in Metropolis. So the cool thing is, as he talks to him, the photo he took out was a photo of course, the Kents and him in the middle, kind of scratched out, and he folds it over to see both of them, and he just kind of smiles and laughs. So again, well, progressive of the story, meaning, okay, you're seeing the shadow monsters more. Clearly their agenda is, one, to get rid of Superman, obviously. Don't know much outside of that, though. But you do see progression in the fact that, the people in Superman are going to stand together, and whatever happens, happens. And he clearly knows he can't protect everybody anymore. He knows he's weaker than ever, but he can't, just in him, won't stop fighting, right? And he does make several comments throughout this, everybody being a hero. And I don't know if he feels like he's a hero anymore, because he can't protect people like he used to, right? He's barely surviving through some of these fights. And I don't think he feels like a hero like he used to be. And at the same time, they do make a comment go upstairs with him and Lee and Olsen, and how, and Lee and them make the comment about how people, thought everything was all nice and rosy when he could do everything, and now people are finally, what they should have seen in reality, that the world's a dangerous place, and they shouldn't expect them always to protect them. So a lot of cool things going on in this book, a lot of little messages here and there. But again, it made me excited to read the next book. How is this going to end, right? I mean, we all know eventually it's going to end where Superman's probably going to get his powers back somewhere, but as in what's going to happen with the situation with the mayor and the folks he's protecting, and all that stuff plays out. And of course, Superman's public image, because despite everything he does, his image still will take a hit. As he loses his powers, or as he's going worse down this rabbit hole, his public image is taking more and more of a hit, right? So, what do you guys think of Action Comics, Volume 2, Issue 43? Did you like it, not like it? How are you liking the true storyline so far? Again, I like this because it's an interesting take on Superman. He has lost his powers before in the past. It's just, this is a different, interesting take because people know who he really is. And people are calling him Clark. They're not calling him Superman in the book. So it's kind of interesting with that dynamic also. Anyway, let me hear your guys' opinions like always. This is a case with this issue where it would be nice to go back and read the issues prior to get an idea of certain things going on. But you don't necessarily have to, because there wasn't a lot of blanks filled in for the shadow monsters before this. So either way you could go. If you want more fleshing out of what's really going on, like why the riot happened and why Superman lost his powers and what's going on with his state mentally, then yes. But if you could just jump into this and kind of go along for the ride, and just take it for what it is and still enjoy the comic. Anyway, let me hear your guys' opinions, and I will do a review soon. Later, guys.